Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Welcome back to 2 a.m. Almost 2 a.m. here. I don't know how long we're going to stream tonight, but we're going to do a little bit. You know what? It's really been bothering me. And I can wait for more people to get here, but I'm going to just start regardless. Hope y'all having a good. What bothers me are the amount of scammers that are coming back in the fold, bro. Like I was saying, this dude, Jay Morrison, recently did an interview. And I'm trying to understand why in the black community, black culture, we're allowing these scammers to basically like rear their ugly heads again. And I'm not opposed to, people hustling and doing what they got to do. I think it's just a culture of, honestly, black folks and high right now. What is what it is. But believing black folks have to come from some kind of pity or some kind of struggle out there, to be credible. I'm guilty of that too. But I think it's like, it's overdone now. Because when you get got preaching, oh, we're gonna collect all the black people's money and gonna buy back the block and do things of that nature, that sounds like the Tulsa days of the past. That really kind of highlight one black community in the entire United States that was Black wealth, Black Wall Street. But I'm gonna check out Jay Morrison tonight on the Social Proof podcast. I really do like the Social Proof podcast, but he has a lot of good people on his platform. Didn't really understand why he would bring the Tulsa real estate fund into his project or what he's doing, but that's not for me to judge or to say. It is what it is. But straighten us out. We'll get this right. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Let's check this out for what it is.
All right, family, this is not your typical interview. Jay Morrison, he's been at the center of public criticism, allegations, public beefs. The story has sparked anger. Some people got hurt financially as well, confused about what's happening. Now, I didn't bring Jay Morrison here to attack him. I didn't bring him here to protect him either. I brought him here to ask the questions that people have been having privately and publicly, just so we can get some clarity. This conversation has not happened like this before. This is an exclusive conversation, and people that invested, people that didn't invest, people that were on the sidelines, I wanted to make sure I asked him all the questions that you would ask if you were sitting here. This conversation was about transparency. It was about honesty. So look, I know you're gonna get something valuable from this conversation. I can't wait to see the comments section. Let's get it. Welcome to Social Proof.
Jay Morrison, old boy who sold the black house after scamming black people for $11.5 million.
Jay Morrison is in hot water.
I didn't fraud. I didn't steal. I didn't scheme.
People trusted him.
But our people are thirsty. Our people are hungry for knowledge.
He was the viral guy in Atlanta, spitting finance knowledge.
I invested $40,000.
$500. It's $2,000.
He got 15,000 people to invest in a real estate fund. And apparently there's little to show for it.
I went out to tackle group economics, something that hasn't been done in our lifetime. I want truth. Like this whole thing for me, this interview, it's about truth.
That's some bullshit.
Something had to be wrong. Everyone that worked with you, they're saying you are this animal.
For years, I was his right-hand man. Y'all know. I helped them build
Believe it up and
what
also
some
I get
people
it
may
right
call
there.
an
I'm gonna go
empire.
on Twitch as
You were
well.
very, very arrogant, and you were very like, I'm him. You bought your home with money from Tulsa Real Estate.
Yes.
All these people
That's
I did
money,
not.
bro.
No.
Oh, you did not.
I'm just saying yes to affirm your question. Please don't clickbait me on that one. Like, I see you did it.
What happened with this money? What happened with this $100,000?
Okay. So
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, man. We find dope people to do dope stuff, and today we have a much anticipated conversation Wait, I don't even know how to intro this thing, bro. We got Mr. Jay Morrison in the building.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple, bro.
Hey,
how you been?
Family. Oh man, amazing.
Man,
that is good.
Good. It's been a long 5-6 years, and I saw you disappear for a while. Like shut down Instagram, shut down social.
You run up on the plug, you can't keep your face out there.
Hiatus.
Where'd you go?
In real life?
In real life. Where'd you go?
I went to real life. Home, man. Homestead. Home front.
Scam.
Started working on the inner things and just in foundation building.
Yeah.
It's like I spent over a decade worrying about everyone else and everything else and trying to save the world. And as I mature, I started to realize that I was immature if my home wasn't right and my home wasn't tight. And so I'm running around preaching legacy and wealth building and be the CEO of your last name, but my home was fractured.
Yeah, you were scamming.
I mean, the most was my wife and I were in the line. It just weighed on the house, and I had to get that in order, in order to be authentic out here preaching legacy and family building and generational wealth.
Yeah.
So it's like
Everything that scammers be talking about.
My wife always said, and we had this thing, we were in a corner class together, things like that.
You know, Jay Morrison is kind of like the scamming Moses of the shit, right? Because he was one of the first people preaching generational wealth. And then for some reason, over the past 10 years, that generational wealth term has really turned into, oh, you're a scammer. You want to sell life insurance, right? Jay Morrison has really, scamming was happening before him. But he came out of prison with another level of scamming because he was talking about credit, wealth, buy back the block. Rappers were preaching about it. He was with the rappers. He was like, you know what? He built instant credibility because if the entertainers and the rappers were doing it at the time and still today, who was credible? But he is kind of like the Moses of scammers. The blessing circle, he's like the king of the blessing circle. He's going to get everybody pulled in, and whoever's last, who don't get their friends in the fun, they're the ones who get scammed out, man. But this is the Moses of the scamming shit.
Like that, like we talk about nation building, right? That's one of my big things, right?
Yeah.
Like a solution for black people, the whole nation, freedom, independence, all this. You can't nation build until you can community build. Yeah. You can't community build until you can family build.
Right.
You can't family build to repair the relationship between the man and the woman.
I don't know that to be true.
Okay.
Marriage is hard.
For sure.
Marriage is really, really hard.
Yeah,
I think it's harder than a single person can even fathom, especially if you're building something. So it's like, I do believe that some people can go out and build a nation. Now, I don't know how Martin Luther King's household was, but we have the allegations of him stepping out on his wife, which means there had to be something in that household that wasn't right, but he has a holiday. I don't know if we can't build a community or build.
What?
Oh, you did.
I'm just saying yes, and everything else, and trying to save the world. And as I mature, I started to realize that I was immature if my home wasn't right and my home wasn't tight. And so I'm running around preaching legacy and wealth building and be the CEO of your last name, but my home was fractured.
In what way?
I mean, the most was my wife and I were in the line. It just weighed on the house, and I had to get that in order to be authentic out here preaching legacy and family building and generational wealth.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, my wife always said, and we had this thing, we were in a corner class together, things like that. Like we talk about nation building, right? That's what
my bad, we did see that already.
About reparations.
Yeah.
So Martin did it, but was his legacy necessarily sustainable? Or Malcolm?
Got a holiday.
He got a holiday. and it also depends how.
Again, yeah, my bad. I skipped in. I didn't know where the time slot was. I don't believe Dr. King was full blown scamming out here in these streets. Now he could have been. The legacy doesn't say that, but I guess they're trying to play. If Martin Luther King had a podcast, it would be totally different. I really feel if Martin Luther King had a podcast, it would be different.
How you define legacy?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, he does have sons named after him and who have carried on some forms of the torch. But when you talk about his last speech before he's assassinated was about reparations.
Yeah.
It was about going to Washington and get our check.
Yeah.
Was
big
that
scammer talk
completed?
right here.
Did we?
Was that carried on? No, we never did.
Mm.
Malcolm was evolving in his spirituality and in his messaging, and he never even had sons to carry on his name, but had daughters. And although he has an amazing legacy, it for me, and it depends how you define legacy. So for me is my children being after my image.
Yeah.
And growing up in my image and carrying on whatever mission and vision that we had set for our household.
Yeah.
For generations.
I feel that.
I do kind of believe in that. I believe in like generational karma, like whatever, but it could be, you could be a drunk, you could be a scammer. And I think that there needs to be like hopefully with Jay Morrison, whatever it may be, like hopefully the scamming just stops right here, because I hope that's not part of the generational building that you're doing, because listen, that's a horrible legacy to pass forward. But yeah, your great granddaddy was a scammer. He scammed black people out of $14 million.
So right, and so you can't accomplish that if you don't have a woman that's you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go into you and create more you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And I think it's super important. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife. I think that's the right answer. You know what I mean? My wife makes my life so much easier, and she is taking care of the household, things of that nature. And bro, she has an incredibly difficult job.
And
I'm blessed to have a good situation at home. But when people start talking about legacy, I just think it's just two different conversations, because you might be on your second, third, and it may take fourth time to get the right spouse. Mm-hmm. But I don't want people out there to think that you can't go after it, because it's just hard, bruh.
It is.
Relationships are difficult.
The hardest.
And I want to ask this, since we're here, because y'all went through a lot. And I remember it was maybe one or two occasions where I'm about to go to an event. It was an invite. And I was like, yo, I'm going to bring Donnie and I'm going to bring Ernestine with me. And I remember one of my friends, he was like, ooh, you can't bring Ernestine. I was like, why? That's my dog.
She's attached to Jay.
She's attached to Jay.
Straight up.
And at that moment, and I get real bad anxiety when it has to do with like human beings or disappointment, things of that nature. So I don't remember what I said, but I couldn't call her and say, yo, you can't come because of your husband. Because I'm asking my boy, I'm like, yo, that's her husband, but like that's my sister. Like I rock with. He's like, it's just not a good look. And I felt hurt because I know Ernestine, like I have a tighter relationship with her than I have with you at the time. Mm-hmm. And I just felt so bad. And I want to know, do you think that what happened with you affected her in a major way?
Super. Especially being that we come from different backgrounds and have two different, at that time, value sets. Mm-hmm. Like where I come from, is I care not so much about what people think of me. Yeah. I care as long as I know that I'm lined up and that I'm right. Like I'm not reputation driven to that way. Mm-hmm. Where she comes from, California, Valley girl, actress for most of her life since 10 years old. Now on major shows, soap operas, country Wayne skits, all all that. She's piped up. What people think really, really mattered, and her reputation, and these opinions, accusations, and all these things really, really mattered. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they didn't affect me at all.
Well, you're out here scamming and ruining her reputation, bro. You gotta think about that shit.
And mostly because
you gotta think about it as a husband real quick. Like, you're building a family. Like, you get married, you bring a family together. what you could do could embarrass them at the same time. So at the same time, it's like, if you scamming people out all their money, and that's your reputation, it's like, bro, you got to think about that. Like, damn, how is it going to be impact? Because you're like, you know what, you really have to be selfish enough to think like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck how it's going to impact you. I'm worried about what I got to do. And that's not really, I guess, what marriage is about. But I'm still young in this shit. Less than 10 years, but I'm in it.
How a lot of this unfolded started with, you know, one key accuser and, you know, internet teaser who, you know, muddied our names, and she told us, you know, not to do business with him. And I went ahead and did it anyway. And so she's like, yo, all this is happening to our family, all this is happening to our businesses, all this is happening to my name, all this is happening. I can't go to events. You know, I'm a socialite. My reputation matters. Like Atlanta, my relationship currency, reputational currency in Atlanta, I built it up with all these different people, and now I can't go to things because I'm attached to you.
Did she say that to you?
Yeah, literally. We've had those like really hard talks and a really contentious time.
And how do you try to comfort that? Just knowing her makeup, and she's building a career in entertainment. Like, I mean, it's natural, right? But
I mean, I empathize with it. It's like, but when you met me, you knew, like, my moniker was Young Malcolm.
Yeah. You knew he was
like, I went around the country teaching for
right.
free in inner city projects. Like, I've been one of my two best-selling books is called The Solution: How Africans in America Achieve Unity, Justice, and Repair. I've been a revolutionary. What has happened? What has been the protocol for all our revolutionaries? So it's like,
hate to say,
scamming ain't no damn revolution. Niggas been scamming the whole time. How you think the slave trade happened? Ain't no damn revolutionary. The fuck? See, listen. This is why I hate what these intellectuals, especially these niggas who reformed from prison, who decided to read for the first time in their life when they was locked up. Now their vocabulary is super. They come out here like, damn, you know, damn, because this nigga wordplay is so nice. It sounds amazing. No, this nigga is bullshitting. You ain't no revolutionary. You're a scammer. And it's not to talk bad about, not this brother on the pitch. You know Jay Morrison, that's what I'm really talking about. But it's the fact like, damn, bro. How you just, Lord, I love you, but people be coming to you after they be scamming. They become pastors. They become kind of fake preachers and these fake revolutionaries in the black community. And we need to stop it, please, in 2026. We should have left these niggas in the pandemic, dear Lord. I should have closed my eyes early, but Lord, what are we doing? It doesn't make sense.
Right? Dismantling, discrediting. Like, you literally look at the definition of COINTELPRO. It literally says to discredit, dismantle, disrupt, right? All these different things. And so I just knew what I was walking into. Like, I always said, like, this is literally epiphany I had. I did like a kind of a mini documentary years ago. And I remember being at the United Nations in 2013. I met with the United Nations Humanitarian Division. Yeah. And this guy like Dirk Seeger, he was like somebody from like Germany, he was at the UN in New York. And we were talking about humanitarian efforts. And I told him, I said, if God made me a deal to give up my life so that my people could be repaired, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I give up all my future, all my potential, my whole entire life for black people to have the repair.
Yeah.
What?
And when all this reputational stuff happened, God spoke to me and was like, don't start complaining to me about your reputation being assassinated. You said you were willing to give your whole life for my people. So if you're not willing to give up your reputation and put that on the altar, you definitely wasn't willing to give up your life. $40. And so for me, I had already just committed to a rough road and a rough journey, getting in the ring with Goliath. Yeah. And, you know, so
but are you saying you didn't feel or not either didn't feel the need or you didn't have the tools to figure out how to navigate her through this situation?
It was, I would say maybe not the tools. I didn't have the strategy. Like, I wasn't prepared. Yeah. Right? So for all this, I wasn't prepared. Yeah. And so to the degree of like, okay, when, and I may mention names in this, not to be provocative, but because I literally don't say people's names, and I haven't for years. You'll never see a social media post of me saying somebody's name. Yeah. Although all the posts about my name. And a part of it is...
this is one name I just don't want you to...
Okay.
Oh, because the guy I don't even know why my man hates me.
Bro,
I don't know.
It's just,
yeah. But.
I mean, the word says love your neighbor like you love yourself.
For sure.
And if you don't love yourself, you can't love your neighbor properly. So he's loving you how he loved me.
Yeah.
The same way he showed online how he loved his ex-girl and how he loved his father and his grandmother and everyone else that he shows love to. He shows how he loves himself. So we don't have to, I don't even get into names because it's not even about that. But I said why I don't do it, why I was challenging myself last night, like would I, is because it's part of, some part of ego in me. It's like, bro, they're so small, like don't even pay them no mind. But also I want truth. Like this whole thing for me, this interview, this whole, it's about truth.
Yeah.
And it's like a liberation day for me because there's a lot of truth. I haven't stood up for myself and for my family for the most part. So back to your question. So my wife was like, yo, these people, you know, they did a 6-person fake protest at a house that we were renovating to live in, our personal home on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm laid up with a colostomy bag. I just had a life-saving surgery for diverticulitis. But EJ's like,
superpower.
Yo, they're doing this, and he called me a B word, and he called me these names, and he's doing all of that. What you gonna do about it? So I said to her, I said, you want me to do something about it? I said, do you want me to do something about it? I'll do something about it. But do you want me to do something about it? Because my do something about it ain't going online. That's not where I refuse to be a grown man. I have a 27-year-old daughter, a 17-year-old daughter, and a 5-year-old daughter. And I will have future kids. They will never look back and say, my daddy was teasing other men online. I got too much self-respect and too much dignity for that. Maybe too much arrogance, maybe too much ego. I don't know what it is, too much self-confidence, too much respect. I'm God's son. Why would I be teasing other men online like I'm a 5-year-old?
What?
So how I'm gonna do something about it, if you ain't really do something about it, is I'm gonna do something about it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think we should do for real? As a hip hop lobbyist for real, and this is for my black elected officials out there, right? We need to make laws about scammers like this. You feel me? Like there needs to be another provision in law, some kind of regulation that these brothers can't get a platform in the black community at all. Now, I'm not talking about green books. I mean like real legislation. There has to be a broader scope of all these scammers from YouTube who sold courses that have been bullshitting. And don't think I'm just coming out the blue. Even California has got to a point of saying, okay, cool, we need to put laws in place about digital assets because these people make these websites for like 90 days to 9 months. You go buy the program, $700, $50 a month, whatever it may be. You think you own the program, you done bought it. These people disappear, pull it off the internet. You're like, wait a minute, I bought that. Well, you know, I decided to pull it off the internet. What happened? Because I bought the course that I can maybe go back to, like a Coursera, right? They need to make laws about niggas like Jay Morrison to make sure that these scamming ass niggas never come back in the black community again. This is what the Congressional Black Caucus needs to be discussing at the next CBC in DC. It's not, oh, look what Trump's doing. No, look what Jay Morrison doing. Look what Jay Morrison did to the black community with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and how it really like, damn, you preach all this reparations, you preach all this slavery, you preach all this black wealth, but you scamming. We need to do some legislation. That's what we about to do. And you know, if we get enough support on the channel, I promise you I'll write it. And we can push the legislation to ban Jay Morrison Act. That's what we're going to do. The ban Jay Morrison Act. That'll be some fucked up shit, wouldn't it? Let's do it.
Or we got this lawsuit going on, this defamation suit, this slander suit.
Yeah.
And I'll handle it like a leader.
I say
like
we do it,
business
champ.
professional, and we're gonna handle it in court. So we gotta let that process play out. And over 4 years, it did play out, and we won the defamation suit. We won the slander suit. He currently owes us $40,000 right now. We currently have his garnishment on his Navy federal account. We currently have a garnishment on 2 more of his accounts. He currently has a warrant for his arrest in North Carolina for contempt of court, not appearing in court. He currently owes us, once we finally track him down and get him to damages court, he owes us triple damages. Once we get to that, I mean us, not just Jay and Ernestine, Tulsa Real Estate Fund, for defamation, slander, tortures, interference, and deceptive trade practices. Oh, since we're here.
Whoa.
Since we're here. Oh, and I have, if I wanted to be a teaser, I have all of his Navy Federal bank accounts. I can tell you all the gambling debts he has. I can tell you all the money he lost in September in Vegas. I can tell you a lot about him, but you'll never see it online because that's not my style. But just so the people know that it's real, here's this is the order of judgment for damages. Oh wait, no, this is another one. I'll get back to that one.
Okay. Hold it. Only because, and here's,
it don't make sense. Why are you even pulling it? People don't trust you,
as much as he has even like attacked me, because he's not here to defend himself, I obviously I want to show it, and I have that much respect for even the people that hate me, right? So, but I do want to get the story of what's happening, especially because I don't think you've ever shared your side of the story, and I think there's a lot of people that are still kind of.
A lot of content creator niggas are really starting to be like, you know what? Let me not say as much as I used to, because guess what? These motherfuckers are suing.
Not understanding what's happening from your perspective. So I always know that there are two sides.
It's for you to say.
I mean, you share what you share for sure.
Park these.
I appreciate that. Hip hop lobbyists, professional lobbyists.
In my new book. So that
tapping in Jay Morrison scamming. Appreciate you, Yellow, for tapping in, man.
Per se, to tease or troll, I'm just
Jay Morrison.
So my point was, back to the original point, was that I'm not going to handle things in an Instagram way. If my family's being attacked, and words don't provoke me to be violent or anything like that, but I was just letting her know she's in my face like, do something about this guy. So all I can do is sue him and take the court route to do something about it. My only other way to stop a person is to stop a person. Me going back and forth online on video is not going to stop a person.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Right? Even when I think like you did the video at the Black House, I remember, I don't know if I was telling you or I was like, don't drop that video. Because no matter what you say in that interview, it won't convince people. It just doesn't. It just
you just go into the cycle of sensationalism.
That's why I don't go back and forth.
You're just giving them more click for the bait. And so like I mean I've had this stuff for years, bro. Yeah. Like I got the stuff on this car repo. I got all the stuff, but it's like it's just not my swag. It's not my style. Yeah. And I'd rather just focus on the mission and what God called me to do. But when someone's interrupting that and they've painted me in a very negative light, it's like the credibility is like I did what God led me to do and what I thought I should do as a businessman, as a professional, as a fund manager, and as a leader.
Yeah.
If I would have taken the street route, it's like I'm being a hypocrite to everything I say I stand for, and now I'm giving these young boys out here, I'm giving them an example. Oh snap, Jay Morrison just, and now I'm co-signing or potentially sending other people to their doom, let alone my own reap what I sow, right? So anyway, it was very difficult. We didn't have the tools to deal with how do you stop someone from calling your wife names online, posting pictures of her online, talking about your family, discrediting your name to the point where people don't even want to be associated with you because it's just muddy. Like you and I had an interview that we were going to drop years ago.
Yeah.
That I was telling the truth, well, my truth, and it is the truth, but nevertheless, and you're like, bro, I love you, but
no, it's fraud.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the mud.
Well, it wasn't.
You're trying to avoid them lawsuits.
Me, I just.
What we talking about?
Here was the biggest thing, and I think we talked about it a few weeks ago.
It's a soundboard too. If it's first time,
I said, I've heard you explain, but I never heard you take accountability. And maybe you have. Maybe I just didn't see it. And I think the conversations are about, okay, well, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened.
Excuse me.
It's cool. But there was no, this is what I did, I'm sorry. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I had everybody that works for me say, yo, invest in this project that I'm going to do, and everybody puts together $2,000 and they invest in me, and I say, I'm going to bring it back, this is going to be good, and I go out and I lose the money, even though it's a legitimate investment, and they should know that an investment is not guaranteed. But I would probably come back and say, yo, this is what I did wrong. I can't blame it on the economy. I can't blame it on this. I can't blame it on... This is what I could have done better. I apologize. I'd have got everybody in a room. But I was saying that we were talking about a few weeks ago, like I just never heard that from you.
Yeah, that's something I realized and why I wrote this book as well for self-accountability. Because I realized with the internet, you can say things on one platform and another platform, and another platform, but not everybody's watching those platforms.
For sure.
Or everybody hears it.
Yep.
So I have taken accountability many times to my investors.
You say a lot of tricky words.
Town hall, et cetera. But this is a great opportunity on this platform to say, I went out to tackle group economics, something that hasn't been done in our lifetime.
You say a lot of tricky words.
And I stepped up to the plate to do so. And it was more than what I thought. And I wasn't prepared. And I dropped the ball. We're still in the game, but to this point, we have temporary failure to this point. I failed to this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't fraud. I didn't steal. I didn't scheme. I didn't all that. I fumbled a rock.
Yeah.
Like, and I got in the ring with Goliath and got my butt kicked.
Let's start over. If we could have done it over, what would you do?
Man, so many things.
Well, okay, before he answers that question, the reason you're here is because I decided to start a podcast.
I ain't worried about all that. We ain't worried about none of that. We're going to get into the next question.
Raised about
$4 million
about 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that. And then we were like cranking about $1 million a month of raised capital. We had a $50 million raise goal. So that was the plan. The goal was, our tagline was a funding source
Soundboard, baby.
Community owned by the people. Like, we were going to raise this capital, $50 million. And to your point, you said before we started the interview,
make sure you like, subscribe,
I was going to build this out. And I couldn't get money nowhere.
Yeah.
So we want to be the rich uncle for the community that you could call, like, hey, I got a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's invest, right? And so it was a $50 million, the business plan was based on a $50 million raise. And we were on, in my opinion, we were on track for that. I mean, raising several million your first week. Okay, we rolling. Yeah. And then that first week though, and I was planning for opposition. I thought it would be like white nationalists or like the other side or something like that. People are opposed to black people unifying around economics. Yeah. And I wasn't prepared for the onslaught of bloggers and podcasts and just naysayers and anti-TREF movement that started like a week after we launched. And that kicked up so much that our month 6, which was January 2019, month 6, the SEC literally knocked on our door in Sandy Springs. And then the FBI knocked on our door in Sandy Springs. The SEC came to our office in Lenox Road in Buckhead. And so a dual investigation started because of all the, it's a Ponzi scheme, this is a fraud, this is this noise.
This is before slander though.
The slander started week 1, bro.
Dang.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Tone Talks, Yvette Carnell, who ended up being the person that started the False Prophets page. It was like a whole group of them who were just like, and most of them were like the ADOS community, who were like about reparations. And they just had some kind of like beef with me. And then the guy who does one of the Watch Your Money podcast, before he had that podcast, he was offended by, I think I provoked him on the Shade Room. I had posted a video on the Shade Room of me teaching like some tax strategies to Kerry Hilson and B. Simone, some of our friends. And he was in the comments on Shade Room before he ever had a brand. And like, hey, I'm an accountant, you shouldn't be saying that. And I said something probably slick back, just kind of my arrogance and kind of whatever. And after that, he was just locked in. And so he had some influence with the NFLPA. I think one was his frat brother or a college mate. So he had the NFLPA send out a warning letter to the whole entire NFLPA of all current and retired players, saying warning about our fund. This is in the first month. So I'm getting to the biggest mistake.
For sure.
So we got a national credible organization like the NFLPA warning all, mind you, we have like several NFL players in our fund. Rest in peace to Marius Thomas, my brother, like literally like one of my brothers. NFL Hall of Famer, he was in our fund, and others. And that was a tarnish. And then all the online noise. And then the SEC and the FBI started investigating us in month 6 of our company starting. So imagine you start a new company, you're excited about it, you pumped up. To your point, you tell your staff and your team, everybody put in $2,000, we're gonna go do this, build this studio out. And imagine the 6th month of you doing so, the FBI come investigate you and your company and whatever other governing agency come investigate your company. So not just the legal cost, which is about $500,000 to defend that, an 18-month investigation, and what it did to my team, because they got all my team laptops, iPads, phones, they're screening everybody's stuff with these devices. And so my team has to go home, my staff has to go home to their families and explain why they're under investigation.
And they ain't got no check.
So to the point of what the biggest mistake was, when that happened, and we were raising about $1 million a month at that time, it dwindled down to $100,000 a month. It was too strong of a current to continue to raise capital upstream against slander, we're a company that's based on equity, having capital to loan out capital or to give capital infusions or partnerships. when you can't raise capital as a company where your business model is based on deploying capital, it's a struggling business model at that point. And so my biggest mistake was not recognizing that sooner, understanding how severe those investigations were and just that whole climate was. And if somebody else if I was coaching somebody now who was starting a fund and their fund got under investigation in 6 months, and it was an online army opposing their efforts to raise capital from online, I'd be like, shut it down. Like, tell your investors, hey, like, the climate's too rough. We need to wait till this investigation settle, find out what's going on, and then we'll maybe reconvene. But my biggest mistake at that is other mistakes I'll lay them all out.
For sure.
But that was one of the biggest ones early, was like, I tried to bully my way through it. Like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, I hear y'all hating, it's cool, watch, I'm gonna show you. And mind you, I was worried about the investigations, not because I did anything wrong, but I'm a black man with a fund called Tulsa Real Estate Fund. It's named Tulsa as a code word, Black Wall Street. I don't live in Tulsa. I've been to Tulsa 3 times. I wasn't called the Black Wall Street Fund, but I figured it wouldn't get approved by the SEC.
Sure.
So I did code word Tulsa. So I'm like, oh man, they're about to Garvey me. Like,
let me back it up too. So there was slander from the first week. But there had to be something. There had to be some sort of linchpin, if that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, because the FBI not investigating on no random ass. Hey, this is just a tip. The SEC not gonna do that shit on the first damn tip, first weekend. The process don't work that fucking fast. Government doesn't move that damn fast.
Something that sparked it. What sparked it?
2 things. One, we were super viral. Like, Nipsey Hussle was involved.
Viral for the raising of the
capital.
Yep.
Right? And so I remember we did like a photo shoot at this mansion, our whole team had suits on. It was like Black Wall Street style. And they're like, this is like a rap music video. These guys are like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like,
for the culture.
It was just like who are they? Who do they think they are? Right? And then we were obviously boasting and promoting the fact that we raised these millions overnight. Shade Room posted us for raising, I think, 4.8 million in 24 hours or whatever it was. And, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, he was pledged in a fund, and all these other, big figures and names and celebrities, Sean King and, Boyce Watkins and
Sean King, oh boy, all the scandals.
So we're lit. And that caused an opposing energy, right? Like positive energy is gonna typically attract a negative energy. And then what super piped it up was I had filed a bankruptcy what year was that? Early on, like 2016, early in my career, I had filed a bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy didn't get discharged until 2019.
And the fund started
2018.
18.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was still completing the conclusion of Chapter 7 bankruptcy that I had, and they're like, "Oh man, this guy has a bankruptcy. How can he do this?" And so that was another big portion of like optics. And
was the raising of the capital before or after that? It was $100,000 event or something like that. When Ernestine was like, "Yo, let's not invest," was the fund before or after that?
The fund was. It was after that.
It was
no,
after
the fund was before that. Excuse me. The fund had launched before we got
fund
in bed
launch.
for the
Got you.
event.
Then y'all connect.
Yeah, then we connect with the accuser.
And then, okay, and it's before we even get even further. What happened with this money? What happened with this $100,000? Like what's like? I don't know if I've heard your side of what happened, but what happened? I know from what I understand, both of y'all supposed to come together, give away $100,000. What happened?
Okay, so we're in my office on Lenox Road, and we're talking about the 100,000 giveaway.
Yeah.
And we're going 50-50 on this 100,000 giveaway. Yeah. And in my office, he says, because we were going to do online live streaming and in person. And he says, well, if somebody online wins, we won't get the optics of them falling out and they won this $100,000. So we need to pick the person that's going to win and make sure they're in person.
And y'all already selling tickets at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're already in bed together selling tickets. And so I'm like, nah, bro, like we got to make it fair for like, we're going to sell online tickets so they can win the money. We got to give them a chance to win the money.
Yeah.
Right? And so once we get to Vegas to do a promo shoot, is he and I together outside of the MGM. We're just outside on the street, kicking it, busting it. And he like, yo, bro, we gotta make sure the people, like somebody in person wins. Like we gotta pick that mug. I'm like, bro, I don't get down like that. They ain't my swag. Like if I'm gonna say, you know what I mean? It just, I'm not gonna fake it. And mind you, all this is in the court affidavit. I swore to this to be the truth. And this is what I sued him over, because he said that what I'm saying is a lie. So I said, okay, you're calling me a liar and a thief. Well, I'm gonna sue you to prove that I'm not a liar and a thief and that you're the liar and the thief. And I won that case, right? As evidence. So mind you, so it wasn't him suing me, I was suing him. I've been chasing him down for 5 years to prove my side of right.
That'll be a
right?
good
So
damn point. He ain't saying
I'm
shit.
the thief and I'm the one wrong. Why am I the one in court suing you so aggressively? And why are you the one with a warrant for your arrest and with the damages and the judgments?
Right.
So,
and this is how long before the actual event is supposed to take place?
This is like a month before the event.
Wow. And you've been promoting it for how long?
A couple months. We did it fast. Fast, right? We're marketing it fast. So one day, we had agreed in our contract that he would cover, you know, he didn't have a brand at that time. His pitch to me was, yo, I got the bread, I got the capital, I'll pay for everything. You bring your brand, right? I'll cover everything. Because I mean, he didn't have a brand at the time. He didn't, like, no one knew who he was. You know what I mean? So he had literally DM'd me mad times asking me. I kept saying no, no, no. And then one day I'm at the barbershop in Buckhead on Piedmont Road, and I'm getting my cut, and I look up, he comes in, he's like, hey, Jay, it's me, XYZ, the one that been DMing you. I'm like, damn, how you pop up my barbershop? I'm like, all right, like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro, the event gonna be lit, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, the MGM Graham's gonna be the biggest wholesaling real estate event, woo, woo. He just persisted, he was persistent. Yeah. And you know, I got a big heart, and I have mad protege. He's a protege right there, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody took me off the corner, somebody took me and gave me an opportunity to be me, right? And so I'm just always like that. That's why I had Big Brothers Anonymous. I have a heart for young black men. Yeah. And so I'm like, he like, oh, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, I cover all the costs, all the expenses, man. I just need your sauce. I'm like, and every year I had done a J. Morrison Academy conference every year for 4 years now. And I'm like, I didn't have one planned that year. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just merge our conference with what he's already doing. He already had the MGM book. He's gonna pay for everything.
But he already committed to him giving the 100,000.
No, we were gonna do that. We were gonna do that part 50-50. That was my idea. And he said, yeah, let's do it. I said, I'll come up with the 50,000 for that. He was gonna cover all the travel expenses, all the hotel bookings, all that. So one day we're in my truck, and no, I'm in my truck. I think he's on the phone with me, and he like, yo, I was talking to him. I was like, hey, bro, we flying to Vegas. My people just sent you the invoice for the flights. He like, flights? Who paying for the flights? I ain't no hoe. What, you trying to hold me? Like he just went off. I was like, whoa, bro. I was like, listen, man. So I don't know who you doing business with, but I don't do business like that.
Hey, appreciate that,
like, bro,
Kevin.
like, I don't know what that's about, but like that ain't it. Like this is our paper, this is our contract. Kanye, like this is what we agreed to. Like don't backtrack. Well, I don't want nobody trying to test me. Like it's cool, but he just went off, and I was like, I took note of it. Like that's odd.
That's
like,
funny.
Come on, I try to be like, you know, high level professional type vibe, right? And so I told him, I was
hold
like,
on,
yo, bro,
stop
that happened
scamming
again.
for a second, right? This shit's funny. We were at Disney about a year ago and wrapped up dinner, and one of the I forget what the hell you call them. They weren't the puppets, but the services, whatever. He came up and said the same thing. Hey, you look like Michael J. White. I'm sitting here like, who? Had to pull up a picture of it. Then I saw it. I'm like, yeah, it's the first time I ever got that. So you're probably the second or third person in my life who ever said that. But I appreciate it. It's a compliment. I need to hit the gym though. So tomorrow I'm in there.
You can't rock. And so that few weeks went by,
That's
didn't happen
funny.
again. And then one day I'm in Cincinnati seeing some property. And as I'm driving back, my team texts me, you got to get this guy, man. He just cursed us all out on this Zoom call. So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, bro, my team just said you cursed him out on the Zoom call. Like, what's up with that, bro? I thought I told you we don't
mainly do politics, but I'm just.
He was like, man, we need to get this stuff together, something. I was like, yo, bro, if you're gonna do business like that, I can't do business with you. He was like, let's not do business then. I said, all right, bet. That was it. I said, yo, we'll refund everybody. We'll cancel the event. I'll send out my statement to everybody. You can send out your statement to everybody, and we're gonna wash hands. We'll refund, bust down, whatever.
Refund everybody their bread.
Whoever paid for conference tickets, like I'm out. Like you said, let's not do business then. Yeah. Perfect. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not debating with you. Like you're not my style of person. Yeah. Like your energy and your light don't align with mine. We done. So we wrote the letters up. We put it all out and all that kind of stuff. And then he kept being aggressive with our team and talking about us. And and just doing a bunch of things. And but we held the domain. So I'm being transparent with you. We held the domain for the event. But he's popping it online like, you know what I'm saying, doing what he do. Like, you know what I'm saying, talking bad, we're trying to sabotage and all of that. And so I was like, man, shut that domain down, man. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you're not going to just
politics do better numbers on there, though, but it's
I'll take accountability for that.
Jay Morrison going to get a
today,
nice niche
I just
crowd.
let him live and just...
But not everybody knows the scammer.
Yeah. That was my retaliation for him. Again, do something about it. That was my retaliation for him trolling us, mocking us, disrespecting us online. It was like, yo, bro, you talking smack about me, but I hold control of the domain. So I just shut it down. Yeah. Which again, I'll take a wrong for that, right? In my own moral compass today.
No lie, no bullshit. Jay still sound like the dude still on the corner trying to prove something to somebody. Like, bruh, you out of prison. You ain't got to scam us no more. We get it. We understand the credit move, the real estate move, the black buyback, the block, all type of shit. Guess what? I don't think we on that in 2026 no more. Niggas ain't even talking about social justice. Black Lives Matter. When was the last time you heard somebody say Black Lives Matter? So you think people worried about a trust fund? Tulsa? Bitches barely know black history. They barely reading. They talking about books they banned out of school, but they didn't talk about a third grade reading level. So guess what, Jay? You can stop. You can stop it all right here, right now, brother. I don't think the redemption tour is going to really work unless you join a church. You're going to have to start a whole congregation out here just for people to be like, believe it. Like, you know what? God done turned that man's life around. And next thing you know, you end up like old Jermaine Simmons, smash one of your parishioners, butt naked outside your damn house because the husband came home early and caught you sleeping with the wife. But it happens that way.
Today. Back then, it's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna flex my power on you.
Let me ask you, if he was telling the story as to what happened, what would he say? Just in fairness to his side, right? Because when you have a dispute, like me and my wife have had disputes. She's saying something, I'm saying something. I can't understand why she's saying what she's saying. And she's looking at me crazy, like, why would you even say that? So it's two different sides, but I know what she's arguing.
Understand.
What is his argument? What would he be saying?
I'm going to tell you, his argument is, so he went forward with the event, the $100,000 giveaway. He went forward with it regardless, said he was locked in on it, held the event, and then said, because I didn't do the event with him, that I was responsible for my $50,000 giveaway and his $50,000 giveaway.
But y'all agreed to not do the event together.
We agreed not to do the event together. Bro, it's in the documents that we're not going to share today.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
got it.
So I'm saying everything that I'm saying, I stood on.
Yeah.
I stood on in court and followed up with for 5 years now. That's how much I believe in my truth. Right? So it's like, again, you and your wife arguing, but she's ducking court. Yeah. And you're pulling up the court.
Right. So you got this mixed with the launch of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And
yeah, so I want to say this real quick. So the person who won the giveaway, they sued him and won a judgment. He said he gave away the $50,000 but never did. That's public doc. So he's saying that I owe him $100,000, but he's not saying I owe him. He's saying I stole $100,000 because I didn't give $100,000 to the giveaway. That's his whole thing. This whole time, bro, has been.
So when he gave his 50.
So listen, all the hey, I can't be with Jay Morrison. I can't have Ernestine come to my parties. I can't mess with them because it's all muddy. He might have stole from that guy. It all was because I didn't give $100,000 for a giveaway that he never actually gave away.
Oh.
I'm trying to understand what the hell this shit is about.
No, bro.
Nothing at all.
He gave like a portion of it, and the dude, Gage Root, sued him and won in court on that. He has a judgment for him on that. So he's been telling everybody for all these years that I've stole $50,000. Then it went to I stole $100,000 because I didn't participate in a giveaway that we both agreed that I wouldn't give away, that he didn't even give away himself. And that was his marketing campaign for all these years, bro, and it's in the court documents.
Got it. And so mixed with all of that.
So now you got a super
for sure
aggressive opposer to Treff, and now he can use the emotional vulnerability of all my $500 investors and all my 15,000 investors from 22 countries to play on their emotions that, hey, he stole $100,000 from me. I know he's getting on y'all. He did a change.org petition that said we stole 14.5 million from black people. We didn't even raise 14.5 million. That's also in the documents. So he did a change.org petition. It only got like 1,000 signups, but still 1,000 people that believed his BS, saying that I stole from him, so I'm preying on the community. And so that's what trickled. And so then he put pressure on my proteges. And one by one, my proteges, many of whom I helped make millionaires, who called me big brother, called me their leader, their hero, all kinds of things, were tight, thick as thieves. He just put pressure on everybody, DMs, inboxes, hitting their baby mamas. I mean, he just aggressive.
Here's the thing about that though. So if something had to be wrong.
Right, like niggas don't do that just randomly, right? I'm one of them troll ass niggas sometimes. You piss me off, bitch, I'm on your head, right? But no bullshit. Nobody just gonna do that on some bad business, keep it moving. No, you fuck somebody over for them to be, hey, I'm gonna hit all this nigga business partners up, all the baby mamas up, all exes, and stir the fucking pot with all these niggas. You know how much negative energy it takes to do some shit like that? And I'm laughing because, not just because I'm high, fuck it. I'm laughing because I know what it's like to be on both sides of that shit. And it's funny because, like, bruh, I ain't scam nobody, no bullshit. But you done piss somebody off enough to be like, damn, I'm gonna go tell the whole world about some shit that happened. Okay, cool, let that happen. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, it's a prison mentality, bruh. It's a slave mentality. We gotta get these niggas up out the hood, bruh. I promise you, it could be controversial. We gotta pass the Morrison Act. There's no member of the Black Caucus that needs to be around here talking about anything except banning the scammers, the online scammers that have ruined this community, that have preached generational wealth. How do we ban the fake generational wealth? We're gonna get the title right, but we're gonna ban this nigga.
Everyone that
Thank y'all for tapping in tonight too, man.
Not everyone,
but
a large group of people. They're saying he is who the slander is saying. And I don't know, like I've had a bunch of people work for me throughout the years. Even if I don't know, I'd smash the windows out of Kay's car, right? That would be the one thing she could say. But I don't know if there's a lot of people that would say through our dealings together, he was unfair, he did this wrong, he did that, you know what I mean? So as I'm seeing this unfold in all these people, whether it's Will or Isaac or there was a bunch, it was coming out the woodworks of people that were attached to you, that y'all called each other king at one point, and you know, you changed their language essentially. You know what I mean? Like
changed their lives.
You heard that, right?
They're all being what you've designed from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's not changing lives, it's changing language. Jay probably went into prison very illiterate, probably very broke, on a mindset of words, but came out of prison knowing how to talk street and knowing how to say something to grandize some black folks and some other people that were illiterate to what the fuck he was talking about, and say, you know what, this brother's educated. At the same time, he knew content matters. Let me go out and get a YouTube check. Let me get the word out there, do the street talk, all the other shit. All the shit people doing on the road now, like, hey, how much money do you make? You see the shit, like the street interviews or whatever. He was ahead of his time there. I'll give you this. And this is not even, I'll give you this from the Department of Corrections, the head of the corrections in the state of Florida 2 years ago. I heard him say in committee. The problem with the prisons are, when you go to educate people, you have people that are on a third grade reading level. Let's say a random 16-year-old could be on a third grade reading level or damn doctorate, right? And it's a fact of, just because they're in prison don't mean they're dumb, but also a fact of how much they learn and who they're learning from. You never know. So they can end up like, you know what, this is how you need to come out here and run a super scam. And that's really what's happening. Jay Morrison is running a super scam, hoping to get redemption of black people. Because what did black people do? We forgive, like America forgave Michael Vick after the dog situation, right? So because of all that, he's like, you know what, if I sit here, if I talk about religion, and I talk about the trust fund, and I could try to clear the air and point the finger at one or two other people that, you know, were wrong, you won't listen to all the confusion of what people said. I can come back, I can bounce back, and you'll believe and invest in me again. It's 2026. In the 80s, that shit worked. That shit must have worked perfect in the 80s.
And now they're coming out saying that you are this person. And I have a relationship.
They weren't all saying that. That wasn't their language.
I mean, they all start to they all said something that was negative.
They all disavowed. They all created distance.
I know Isaac made this whole video, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm like, as I was looking at it, I was like, for one, it was all good just a week ago. Mm-hmm. And he's like saying, you did all this stuff. And then, you know, a bunch of other people, Brandon, these are people that like inner circle, and they're saying you are this animal.
One, I didn't watch any of those videos, so I mean, we're talking ambiguous, right? So I don't know what those particular accusations were. I know that, I know for like Brandon, for instance, one time I was in Atlantic Station, and there was another coach out in the Midwest who I had helped train up and took on tour with me, and he broke off from the organization. And Brandon was my sales rep, and then Brandon started doing sales for him. I'm like, bro, we have a non-compete clause. You can't compete with people without bringing you can't do work with people without bringing an organization. He's like, man, bump that clause, man. Woo, woo. He piped up on me in my apartment. And I'm like, yo, bro, and he stormed out, slammed the door, went to the elevator. And I'm like, yo, how am I gonna deal with this, yo? You know what I did? I went out to the elevator. He'll tell you this. I went out to the elevator. I said, yo, come here. Give me a hug. And I hugged him. I told him, we talked. He apologized. He ended up working for my organization for several more months and made some of the most money he made in his life. And I'm not, well, let me back up. I will take accountability. I'm not ducking smoke and accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all part of growth. This is all part of entrepreneurship.
This is a Jay I haven't seen. Yeah. Like, he's like, yo, my bad, bro. Like,
I will tell you, they'll always tell you, I took them on tour, I show love, and I can talk about all my good things. I'll tell you about my bad things. My mentor, one of my strongest mentors was an 80-year-old former bank owner, former tax strategist. He syndicated over $1 billion in real estate, very, very wise, old, other ethnicity dude. Yeah. And what he taught me in business and the way he treated me in business and how I was groomed was you get what you negotiate.
I agree.
And so that's how I did business. And I don't do business like that anymore. I'm gonna tell you, if I say, hey, Dave, let's partner on whatever we want to partner on. Mm-hmm. And I say, yo, bro, I think I should get 90, you should get 10. And you be like, yo, bet, bro. Bet. You agreed to it. But today I don't do business that way, right? So if anyone could say that I'm a quote unquote or was a monster about things, is I was aggressive in business. Mm-hmm. I was aggressive. It's how I built what I built. It's how I was groomed. It's how I knew to function. I wasn't illegal. I wasn't fraudulent. I wasn't bad, but I squeezed my team. I worked people. We working at night. You know what I'm saying? But I also worked hard. They watched me outwork the work. Yeah. And I also changed lives. But I was more aggressive in business than I know to be today. Today I do business, and I know you know the word of God. Today I do business more like, I call it the Abrahamic way of doing business. Mm-hmm. Like Abraham and Lot. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, if me and you gonna do a business together, I'm not gonna tell you what I want and try to take and squeeze and get the most out of it. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, Dave, what do you think is fair? Whatever you think is fair, I'll either say, nah, it's just not fair enough for me, or I'll be like, all right, cool, bet. Yeah. So then I had more of a capitalist mindset, more of a leverage mindset. Yeah. It was more of a, we're in business together. It's like playing ball. Yeah. Bro, me, you go play ball, my job is to bust your butt. Yeah. It's not to be like nice, you know what I'm saying? So I look at business like a sport, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my job is to bust your butt, and your job is trying to bust my butt, and we meet where we meet. Yeah. So when it came to contracts, negotiations, leverage, I was very, very aggressive when it came to those things in business.
I'll say that's very respectful. The only profession I've seen is this politics shit, especially with black folks, right? Black folks in politics, there's not a lot of us, like government affairs, lobbyists, things of that nature, right? All put together, this is the only field where competition is damn near deadly. They don't want to compete. It's only like house nigga, field nigga, right? To where if you're the black person that the white Republicans or white Democrats or black Democrats or black caucus, whatever kind of leadership, fake position it is, because it's all fake power, right? If you have an affinity to them, and continue to be the name brought up, that all of a sudden you can't let anybody else in, right? And what happens is everybody else has to be in the field. So in other businesses, yes, you can compete. 2 plumbers can compete. 2 barbers can compete. Everybody can compete, right? But lawyers as well. But it gets down to a fact of this is one of the only professions where sometimes you look more as competition, as in, hey, I need to end your career. You can't be in the league with me, rather than a fake head up LeBron, KD, fucking Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl type shit, right? That's the difference. But not everybody works in politics. Not everybody knows.
And that's really tough when somebody's a protege of yours, a mentee, a little brothers of yours, and they're looking up to you, and you're not necessarily being quote unquote the fairest. Although one will argue a contract is fair because you agreed to it, but in my new moral compass, that's not how I would do business now.
In that way, I actually understand, bro, because I had a friend, really close friend, bro, and I couldn't even understand why she was attacking me. When it's not popular to support you, even your friends will leave.
Straight up.
I mean, Peter was like, yo.
Bro, no, it's too much. and that's what I was gonna say. It's like,
I don't know it, bro.
It's like I don't know why I always use street examples. I ain't been in the street in like 40 years, but it's like, yo, if a Fed case come down, it's like, yo, people start scattering. It's like
100%.
So people were like in this pressure, and like for instance, like Isaac was doing his thing in the street, and I did an event in Philly, and Isaac met me after the event. He had a little Range Rover, and I sat in his Range Rover. He was still in and out the streets. I sat with him, better than that. I'm like, yo, bro, I see who you could be. And I spoke life into him. I told him who he could be. I told him exact vision for himself. I told him what I would do to help him, put him on my platform, everything else, bro. And he eventually put the street down, and he got in full blown and became a millionaire. Like, I literally told him in his range, bro, stop hustling. Like, I got you. And it hurt me to watch it. And even him, he told me, he's like, yo, bro, if we ever break up, I'll never do some stuff like Will did. And then he did what Will did. And then Will did. But here's the thing, I'm not even dissing them, man, because I get it. That was too much for them to handle. Yeah. And if any of them ever circle back, I would apologize for any accountability I have in any way I impacted them negatively and whatever. And they could also atone with me, and I believe in atonement and reconciliation. Like, that's brotherhood. Like, family's gonna fight. Yeah. That's real love. Like, if you really loved me, because we was talking about, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with some other guys who went and did campaigns to get me. Like, bro, they literally told me they loved me. Like, we were brothers. Yeah. So, but here's the interesting part, is that all the people you mentioned, even some you haven't mentioned, none of them ever came to me and had a conversation with me and said to me the things they said online. Not once did they say, yo, bro, I'm feeling this kind of way about you. Yo, bro, you violated me in this kind of way. Not one of them could show you a receipt that they ever did. And so that was the disappointing part.
I'll say, to switch it off with Jay Morrison here, because, you know, I just can't listen too much cameras after a while. That's kind of real. I've had my homies check me about some shit. It's like, you know what? I'd rather you come sit, like, you know, honestly, I told the homies, you send me 2 paragraphs, nigga, I know it's a real issue, right? So, getting it there. But at the end of the day, to be fair, I'm just not buying Jay Morrison. I just don't agree with what he's saying and what he's doing. So, it is what it is. Before I sign out tonight, y'all know I gotta check out my girl Jasmine Crockett. She was rocking it earlier, man. She was rocking that girl Pam Bondi to sleep in damn committee earlier today. We're gonna check her out on CBS, I guess, post interview, post game interview, if anything. Just over, right?
For more on that hearing in the Jeffrey Epstein files, let's bring in Texas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. You were in that hearing today. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, you've now seen some of the unredacted Epstein files. What, if anything, stands out or surprises you?
I'm going to tell you that they actually have not unredacted a lot of the files. I went after the hearing today, and my staff had a number of specific files for me to look at, and basically every single one of them was still redacted. And I had to ask them, why are they still redacted? And they said they came to us that way. So we will have to follow up and try to get the unredacted files sent over to us.
Your colleague, Representative Jayapal, said a short time ago on X that AG Bondi had a list at that hearing today of which emails she had searched when she went to view the unredacted files. Your response to this?
Yeah, listen, we knew that AG Bondi had what we called a burn book. And it seems like that she also had a lot of intel that seems to, be a violation of the separation of powers, right? We know that we, as members of Congress, have been granted by law that was signed into law by this president to be able to review what is going on within that branch of government. And she decided that basically she was going to be big brother on us and have a list of who all reviewed what. And for why, I don't know. But we absolutely learned of this today. And I absolutely believe that not only judiciary, but most likely oversight is going to respond.
In that hearing today, you didn't ask AG Bondi any questions. The next congressman who spoke after you gave the AG time to respond. And here's what happened next.
This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted. So what we talking about? Convict Texas, some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, and you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
All of it, man. So it's all of it in
AG
between.
Bondi last appeared before a congressional panel
what I like
in
about
October.
it,
Why did you not ask her any questions in your time?
Listen, I am the last Democrat on the committee. I watched her the entire day, and she wasn't answering questions. And I'm sure she didn't want to answer too many questions because, well, she doesn't want to necessarily lie to Congress, even though I'm sure that there is plenty of that to go on. In fact, Ted Lieu caught her in a lie. So, we'll see what happens maybe in future administrations. But instead, she decided that she had her own agenda. That agenda was to put out propaganda for this president. She decided that she was going to talk about the Dow, which has nothing to do with the DOJ. She decided that she was going to talk about how transparent and wonderful he is. She decided that she wanted to challenge us on crime that was taking place in our districts. And, she came into the hearing room with pictures of individuals out of Texas. But the reality is that there were actual survivors sitting behind her for crimes that currently need to be investigated, and she's not doing anything.
Early voting in the Texas primary begins next week, as you well know. You're locked in a tight race to become the Democratic nominee for the Senate. Some Democrats have expressed dismay over a bitter campaign battle between you and your opponent, Representative James Tallarico, and that it could impact the general election. Are you concerned that whoever wins could perhaps come out unnecessarily scarred?
Possibly. We're ahead. There was polling that was just released. It showed that we're 8 points ahead of Mr. Tallarico. And based upon the fact that his super PAC is currently spending more money than John Cornyn's super PAC in this primary, I think that, we know that we're ahead. So we're getting some pretty nasty things. It's quite unfortunate that, Mr. Tallarico has decided to campaign and say that he hates super PACs and things like that, but has remained quiet as we were notified that there was a mailer that came out today that darkened my skin and told flat out lies about me, and it was done by his super PAC. At the end of the day, we're going to keep running. We're going to run hard through the tape. I think that, Texans know who has the experience and who has, real plans as well as real receipts for actually getting the work done. Texans want a fighter. They don't want a folder. And we know that in 2021, when we broke quorum, Mr. Tallarico went back and gave the Republicans the quorum that they needed to pass the voter suppression bills that they decided to pass. And everyone knows that I was one of the co-leads of the quorum break. And ultimately, I ended up going to the U.S. House.
Texas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, so appreciate your time. Thank you.
Let's love Jasmine Crockett. Heavy on the makeup today. Look, background though, listen. That race, last I seen, haven't seen this poll that she's discussing. The last poll that I pulled up, we did a video on, she was losing among Democrats, right? Among Democrats, college-educated white Democrats over 40. Men, not with her. Women, tied. But college-educated women, college-educated white Democrats, 15% higher, 12 to 15% higher. It's kind of crazy, right? I love Jasmine. People hate her. This guy, top mouth job, Crockett, cool. End of the day, for someone who sat in boring committee meetings and had to sit here and listen to probably 1 or 2 good speeches in 3 hours, 6 hour, 8 hour committees, right? I love Jasmine Crockett.
Clock it.
To Jasmine Crockett. She brings spice to the process that's needed. And I think that's why she's really a good candidate. So she tackles a lot of good things, but what she's handling, what's happening in Texas, is just a remnant of what's happening with Democrats all over the country. Because Democrats really take second fiddle, black Democrats take second fiddle to white Democrats. And I honestly feel if she does lose this primary, the Supreme Court's going to go ahead and strip out the Voting Rights Act for Louisiana versus Calais. That's a whole other issue, a whole other time. But let's see what else we got on here besides Jay Morrison, because we're not going back to that, man. Uncle Nearest, Jimmy Fallon. I'm not trying to get dinged by the people. So you know what? Hold on. 33 minutes. We're not going till 3:30. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. Midnight stream, late night vibes. Get this full screen here. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. There we go. Appreciate everybody tapping in on the stream tonight. We didn't have that many people. We had enough. We had y'all. And we did surpass 9,700 subscribers. I appreciate that. We're close to 10,000 now. The goal is, I didn't tell y'all, I told people on Facebook and Substack, that you see this tabletop here. It's not done. Because we haven't hit 15,000 subscribers yet. So as we build and grow this channel, we've been growing this out. This whole office used to be white. We used to have the color pictures up before the logo got up there. We picked the shiplap up. We've done a little bit of everything here. The next step is the tabletop. Then we're going to get the official camera and everything else as we build out towards 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So for the people that have subscribed tonight, I appreciate every single one of y'all.
Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
I appreciate everybody spending the evening with your boy. Late night, midnight vibes. About 40 of y'all still here. Anyway, you're my favorite trans streamer. I appreciate that. I'm not trans. But I appreciate that. So the 40 of y'all that are here, I appreciate y'all. Over 2,000 who've tapped in for the stream tonight. Just know more than anything,
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.
I gave you everything I got. I appreciate every single one of y'all tapping in. Y'all be safe. Have a good night, man. I'm out.